Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today. My name is Mel Rose, and I'm here to share your daily aspects. Today is Friday, May 6, 2022. We have Sun in Taurus and a waxing crescent moon in Cancer. So we express strength and security by drawing in resources that add value to our lives, and we have an inner drive to nurture ourselves, our homes, and our loved ones. The waxing crescent phase in Cancer invites us to consider how we feel about the plans we're making and what it will mean for our homes and our loved ones when our dreams culminate. Don't ignore your emotions or your gut intuition while setting intentions at this time. Solar Beltane began last Sunday. This is the midpoint celebration between spring equinox and summer solstice. It's important at this time to celebrate our material resources, our bodies, our jobs and businesses, the people who keep us in business, the sources of our livelihood. These are the subject of our rituals and prayers for strength and increase. On Sunday the 15th, we will celebrate lunar Beltane with a full moon and a lunar eclipse in Taurus's opposite sign Scorpio. So this time, right now, between the solar and lunar midpoints is special. How do we acknowledge the increase the sun brings into our lives at this time of year? Let's take a look around ourselves individually and in the context of community and celebrate what circumstances show positive growth. Let's put our praise and attention on those facets of our lives that keep us secure and expanding. Like cheering our favorite team onto the field, our words and actions now reflect our enthusiasm and our hopes for a successful season. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get into the aspects, but first I will point out the handcrafted key on the right-hand side of the page. Most of the symbols on the page have made it into the key, so if you desire a point of reference, it's right over here. Otherwise, I have divided the page into two columns, one for each of our luminaries. The moon is the luminary that sheds light on our inner lives. This is about your relationship with yourself, what it feels like for you to be in your body, heart, and mind, and in your home. The transits and aspects that the moon makes are all very brief, and they have a subtle impact on those things you think, feel, know, and intuit, but may choose whether to express. The sun is the luminary that sheds light on our outer lives. This is the outward expression of yourself in the world, specifically in your work, social, and civic spaces. I address the sun and the rest of the planet's movements on this side because these have a greater effect on that outward expression. And we begin on the sun side today, Central Standard Time, friends, at 2:03 in the morning. Sun goes sextile to moon. So Leo is ruled, the sun rules Leo, moon rules Cancer, but also Taurus and Cancer are going to be implicated the most here. Of course, all of the aspects are for everyone. This aspect indicates the waxing crescent phase, and it encourages us, while the inner and outer lives have this good working relationship, to begin to solidify our plans for the next couple of weeks so that we have some achievements to celebrate with the full moon on the 15th. In the ongoing column today, we have several things. Today is the final day for Venus sextile Pluto, so Taurus, Libra, Scorpio would be involved, most heavily implicated here. Our personal receptive capacity has been at work with our emotional and intuitive depths in a way that generates good outcomes. We love more deeply right now. We feel more profoundly for the people and things we value the most. This is a good time to reflect deeply on those cherished relationships and our appreciation for the people that we keep close to our hearts. Jupiter is sextile to Pluto through this Sunday the 8th. Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Pisces might especially feel this one. Jupiter sees the evolution we are undergoing, and this is as individuals and as a collective. And Jupiter wants to bring us ease as we move through this period of transformation. This aspect, like I said, is with us through the 8th, and it promises us some grace and ease, some access to grace in transition. Take it where you can find it, friends. This is all for personal growth. Mercury sextile Venus will be with us through May 11. This has been bringing us positive, cooperative vibes right there. All these positive, cooperative vibes, I'm so happy to see them. Between, in this case, the intellect and our ability to attract what we need and desire. So Taurus, Gemini, Virgo, and Libra have ruling planets right here. We are now empowered to negotiate the terms by which we receive attention, affection, and compensation. And be realistic, friends. Take inflation into account. Take the labor you're doing into account, whether that's physical, emotional, mental labor. Ask for what you truly need in return for what you've been giving. Venus requires this sense of our relationships that they are balanced, and that can take some advocating for ourselves, and now is the perfect time to be doing that. Mars sextile Uranus adds another layer of positivity, fun, and grace as we go through these shifts and changes. Aries, Scorpio, and Aquarius may especially notice this vibe. We're graced with quick, intuitive decision-making and an ability to enjoy ourselves as we take action to shape our lives. Mercury sextile Jupiter will be with us till May 28th. Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces. This month we have exceptional mental clarity regarding the bigger picture in our lives. It's time to articulate that larger, more complex and satisfying plan we envision for ourselves. Lay it all out on the table, friends, and pay attention to the details. Your efforts at this time are blessed with positive outcomes. And then Mercury trine Pluto is here with us actually through the 19th of June. So this is a nice long aspect. Pluto was direct when we went into this aspect, and now it is retrograde. Mercury is going to go retrograde next Tuesday, and that's kind of what's making this aspect last so long. But Mercury trine Pluto, you know, Gemini, Virgo, Scorpio have ruling planets here, but I would be surprised if, you know, everybody's not getting some of this. This aspect reinforces the fact that this is an ideal time to share our thoughts and plans with others. We can be very persuasive at this time as we're capable of seeing through to the core of things and speaking to what is important. And that trine aspect energy is just the most ideal, most positive functioning energy we could have for this sort of insight and ability to express what our insight is. And then Pluto is retrograde through October 8th. Pluto is the modern ruler of Scorpio, but it impacts us more on a collective level than simply the individual level. You know, if I'm going through transformations, that's because people around me are also going through transformations. Pluto's final retrograde in Capricorn this year, after being in Capricorn for 25 years, this is going to be Pluto's final retrograde in Capricorn, and it's bound to bring in the intensity as we go through some more shifts in our internal sense of what works for us to achieve our goals and build something strong. This is also a time when the things that don't work, like bad habits, toxicity in our relationships, or poor money management, will be painfully clear for us. So Pluto brings about the endings and beginnings, and when we see an ending coming up, something that needs to come to an end, it's time to move in the direction of that, okay? And especially Pluto retrograde, this is about the transformations we're making on the inside. Jupiter is currently sextile to Pluto, which gives us grace to move through these changes that we have to make as early as we can. So keep your eyes open for those opportunities to step in the right direction and take them when you see them. On the moon side of the page, this morning at 2:34 friends, a.m., moon went trine to Mars. So Cancer and Aries and Scorpio would be most affected here. It's an odd hour for this, but we may feel the urge to take action on something related to the heart and home. The trine vibration here says our actions are blessed at this time. And then this evening at 8:12 p.m., moon goes trine to Neptune. Spirit is protecting us here as our senses are heightened and we can feel and benefit from our connections through intuitive and creative means. Tomorrow, Sun goes sextile to Mars, blessing just about any actions we'd like to initiate. This Sunday brings our first quarter moon in Leo. This is the time to set these plans and intentions into action. Next Tuesday, Mercury will enter its second of 3 retrogrades this year, bringing in 3 weeks of potential for shakeups and misunderstandings in our ability to think, plan, and communicate, so be ready for that. And the same day, Jupiter will make ingress to Aries, bringing growth and expansion to our capacity to act, or through our capacity to act, depending on how you take that. And that is it for today's astrology, friends. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Please like my video, subscribe to my channel, click the notifications bell. I post here every day and I wouldn't want you to miss a thing. And friends, I truly appreciate it that you comment to ask questions and provide encouragement. It truly is encouraging, and I love it when you ask questions because then it gives me something to chew on and think about. And I like that kind of a challenge for myself. But it isn't just gratifying for me to know that you're listening, that you're tuned in. It lets YouTube know that you're engaged in the content, and that helps me as well. Also, if you know anyone for whom this guidance may resonate, I encourage you to share. Now I'm going to take a couple of minutes to talk about Tarot as it relates to astrology today. First, I will discuss the Tarot card that sits on the side of the page. Then I'll do a quick rundown of today's astrology before throwing a random card that hopefully speaks to today's energies. So let's go ahead and get into that. The card that sits on the side of the page is the Six of Pentacles. And we have Pentacles because the sun is transiting through an earth sign, Taurus. The Six of Pentacles represents the second 10 days of the sun's transit through Taurus. So Pentacles, earth, this elemental vibration has to do with our physical resources, like literally what we have in terms of our physical body, the ground that we occupy, and the resources that we have in terms of money and other, physical resources that we can use to trade and barter for the things that we need. So Six of Pentacles indicates a time when, we have learned to ask for what it is we need. We have expanded our sense of what it is we need, and we have, discussed it, and we have done the work to make sure that we have the income that we need, that we have the money and the prosperous good health that we need. And in fact, we have done so well that we're now able to share. And often in the Six of Pentacles, this person will be holding some scales, which indicates that there is a balance to be found when one comes into a lot of, when one comes into some wealth, or one comes into, like a very secure, well-resourced position. The balance to be found is, in sharing what we have with others so that we can help them expand and grow their own capacity in the world to get along. So Six of Pentacles says, hey, you've got enough of something, go ahead and share it with others. It will be good for you and it will be good for them. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and mix up some cards and just go back through today's astrology very quickly so that I and the cards know what it is that we're addressing. The sun is in Taurus, and this is the time, the midpoint between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. We're right in the middle of it right now. And this is the time when, your seeds have already sprouted, the things you've taken initiative on are growing, and now they're ready to put down roots, which means we have to give them good soil. We have to give them good material resources, be able to put material resources into those things we're trying to achieve so that they can grow strong, especially in our outer lives. What I did not mention here is that Uranus is also in Taurus, so there's been a great deal of shifting and changes, sort of even impulsive need to change, like where we get our resources from and how we receive our resources. We've had to expand our capacity and advocate for ourselves to get more of what we need so that we have enough to share. So that's very much been the vibration since Uranus has been in Taurus, which has been quite a long time. I can't really remember right now, but probably at least a year. And then the waxing crescent moon in Cancer really invites us to be solidifying our plans and intentions so that we have something to act on when we get that first quarter moon in Leo coming up on Sunday. And, Moon in Cancer is really about the heart and the home. Moon rules Cancer, so we want to nurture ourselves in the heart and home. And Cancer being a water sign, it's probably a great time to hydrate well, to do other things to care for ourselves and nurture ourselves with water, like, bathing and cooking nutritious meals, that kind of stuff. So this is how we nourish ourselves at this time when we are, focused on drawing in the resources to help ourselves grow strong. On the sun side of the page, we have so much going on. Sun went sextile to moon today, and this is really, symbolically a time of inner life and outer life being in a cooperative vibration together. So, we're well aligned to get things done that we need to get done, especially in terms of solidifying our plans to bring in those resources that we need. And then in the ongoing column, we've got all this sextile and trine energy, okay? So very cooperative and even very positive and blessed energy that has to do with what it is that we need to receive, what is happening deep on the inside in our subconscious, what the deep core truth is for us. The endings and beginnings that we see coming up, these transformational energies are very much with us. Mercury is here. These communication, thinking, and planning energies are very much here with us. And then we've got this Mars sextile Uranus in the middle that says, yeah, you can take action to make shifts and changes. And really at this time, your actions will be blessed. So that's great. We're feeling our love very profoundly. We have a few indicators that we have this grace in transition. We can have positivity and fun while we're making these changes. We can, we have this clear inner vision. We have this persuasive ability to communicate our plans. We can lay out that big picture and, field all the questions and ideas it has to do with it. So we're really being encouraged to think about and plan, communicate, take action on those transformational energies that are coming through our lives. That Jupiter wants us to expand. Jupiter wants us to have ease as we expand. And so that's where we're at. This is the time to be stepping in the direction of those transformations that you see happening. Okay, if you see an ending coming up, if you see a beginning coming up, don't resist, just step toward it. And Pluto in retrograde says a lot of this transformation right now is happening on the inside. Okay, it's not necessarily about outer life transformations, although those will follow, absolutely, and even sometimes tend to precede our inner transformations. But right now, Pluto's in retrograde through the 8th of October, and so our transformations are very much happening sort of in the heart and mind. And then on the moon side of the page, we have these two beautiful aspects that are real blessings. Moon trine Mars really early this morning, but if you wake up with a lot of energy and sort of a positive idea about changes you can make, actions that you want to take that are for your heart and your home, for your loved ones and your domestic space, you're blessed. Okay, so go ahead and take those actions. And then in the evening, we've got that moon trine Neptune. It's almost like a void of course period where we can really get into our intuitive and creative space, and that trine energy there just makes those efforts blessed. We can probably use our extra sensitivity and our connection to spirit and our connection to the people around us to come to a new level of understanding and therefore a new capacity to create our vision for ourselves, expanded idea of what we can receive, and to move through that with grace. So I love that spiritual protection that we get at that hour, and it's a great time to really think about your connection to spirit and to humanity. And with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and turn this card. We got the Hermit today, friends. Okay, so the Hermit is a person who has withdrawn from society, okay? This gives me a very Pluto vibrations. Okay, so this is about the transformations that are happening on the inside. The Hermit withdraws from society because they seek deeper knowledge than they can get just out there walking around in the world, talking with regular people. So they turn within, they turn to the books, they turn to the study of what it is that is important to them, but not so that they can just hide or that they can covet that information, but so that they can be a light to others who also want expanded learning. So this is a great time to turn within, to do your research, to do your reading, to really dive in to what it is that you need to know, what you need to pick up in terms of understanding, so that you can go through the transitions that you're trying to make with as much grace as possible. And the Hermit with the Six of Pentacles, that tells me, we can be, we can spend that time by ourselves, okay? We can be generous with ourselves by giving ourselves time to do that reading, that thinking, that reflection, and intuitive work. And we can also use that time to be generous with others about what it is that we have learned as well. So if somebody comes to us seeking knowledge or understanding, and we have it, we can be generous with them. Knowledge and understanding is not a physical resource, but it is a mental resource, and it's a good one to share if somebody comes looking for it. And I believe that's all I have to say about that today, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so happy that you're here. My name is Mel Rose, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today.